Almost exactly 4 years ago, Gary Metivier left our newsroom and our anchor desk to realize a dream he had back in his 20s to express himself as an actor. So besides producing and hosting a nature series, Gary's done some movie work. We thought we'd better catch up on that. You've gotten some decent roles.
It's been pretty crazy, Paula. Pam, by the way, my wife Pam, comes home as a nurse and helps me tape these auditions now at home in my kitchen. So I'll have all my gear set up and hand her a script. She'll read her lines, I read mine, and I send it in for jobs. And so we started this just about a year ago, and it's kind of taken off.
It's kind of taken off.
Yeah.
You've played everything from a priest to a sheriff to a kind of a homeless guy, or
yep,
right?
Sort of an inspiring. You could call him homeless. He's a deep thinking character that I really enjoy.
And so your range is, if you had your perfect role, what would you pick? Do you know?
I love being a character actor that can share hopefully some wisdom or something with someone that can help them improve their lives, right? Because films, like the books and like the videos, just another way to tell a story. And I've always been, character actors to me have always been fascinating. The ones that come in that don't have the lead role, they don't have to be this, they can just bring some element to a film. And in particular, faith-based films is something I'm really interested in. And I've turned down a lot of roles. It's hard too, because you're saying, wow, you're building this and you're getting all these offers, but then you read the scripts and you go, no, that doesn't achieve my goals in life, right? Is to hopefully inspire people. And every once in a while, I'll probably end up doing something that's just a little fun too. You know, hopefully I'll be working with Beck and Woods, you know, those guys from The Quiet Place at some point.
Yes, right.
Horror movies, I'm not, they're more into suspense. But I think I'd like to do that.
That would be very exciting. Then we'd have, you know, all these Quad City connections, right, with those guys.
We'll see.
So this movie we're going to explore right now is called God's Not Here, and this is a movie where you have 4 different roles in this film. That was
the challenge of this. So I love the script. Matt Cicchelli did a fantastic job in the script. And these 4 different characters, I had to not only, of course, learn a ton of lines. I wanted to make sure my old brain could still do that, which it worked out. But you get to know characters and build characters and have them all bring something different to that. It's sort of like if you think about it as a parable, right? So the movie is pretty much parables, where the different characters play different roles. Okay. I think it's a very fascinating approach to this, very unique.
We have a clip, and so we're going to see some of Gary's film, God's Not Here.
I used to believe.
May I ask why you stopped?
Where were you when my mother died? When I got married? You missed everything in my life. And then you just show up on my doorstep and just expect me to forgive you?
And I want to share with you a couple of stories or a couple of scenarios.
Tell me it ain't true.
What? Listen to me.
Is it true? How could you? After what he done, you let this happen.
Those guys couldn't be more different. Those guys you play in that movie.
I was actually most concerned about the one you see there at the end, the black beard.
Yeah.
That was an out of context kind of character for me. And there was a real reach for me, so I wanted to see if I could pull that off.
That was it that anger that concerned you? Because that guy was not happy.
Oh, wait till you see the film. I lost 3 pounds filming that day because I had to get myself in a certain place. And I told them coming in, I said, tell the other actors because you know me, I'm sort of a polite guy, and said, but I'm not going to be nice to anybody today. I'm coming in hot, and I'm going to be like Al Pacino, kind of in some of the old movies.
You had to live it.
I lived it for that. Yeah. It took a lot.
You want to tell our viewers that you just signed with an agent?
Shirley Hamilton Agency out of Chicago. They're one of the largest agencies in Chicago, and they saw some of my clips and loved what they saw. So we just signed about 2 weeks ago. So we're very excited for potential commercial and film work too with them, and then they're going to help potentially connect me to some Los Angeles projects and Atlanta projects and other things like that. So we're kind of taking it to the whole next level here on top of everything else we do.
You've made some moves. 4 years ago, when we said goodbye to Gary here at the station, we had a little party, and a couple of my favorite dudes are in this picture right here.
Oh wow! Look at that.
So there I am with you and Tom, and look at. Of course, you do have a beer, but you have your clean shaven anchor face on.
Wow! Yeah. Who is that guy?
Who is that
That's
guy?
what my wife says sometimes. Where'd that guy go?
Do you feel like you are a different person from that evening?
In a way, that's me. This work that I did here on air with you, that was my passion. And I did that, 25 years, 20 of it here.
Yeah.
And I believed in touching people's lives in the best way you can, right? And so now I'm just doing it another way. So I look different. I cut this yesterday. This was down to here.
Yeah.
And the beard was out to here.
Gary had super long hair just yesterday, and Pam made you cut it, right?
Well, she recommended that maybe you guys out there might be a little shocked.
I think you would have loved it, right?
But I'm up for 3 or 4 other roles, which we just shot with that. So I had to keep it at a level where I can grow it back really fast in a month or 2 if I have to.
Okay.
Because we have a lot more auditions, a lot more projects going on. Many of which I can't talk about because, they have non-disclosure agreements.
Well,
but we got a lot of stuff in the pipeline.
You needed this for what we're about to see. Well, we're going to do that, I guess, in the next segment, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to meet the rest of your team next.
Yeah. Can I tell you real quick about Norma's book?
You have to tell me in 15 seconds.
In 15 seconds. Got a book coming out. My friend Jody, Legacy Book Company, is going to publish my first nonfiction. It's based on a news story I started here years ago about a little girl escaping war, similar to what you see in Ukraine now with all those kids getting on trains and going out. She was one of those little girls in England in World War II.
Wow.
And we spent a year together at KSI sharing her story, and I've turned it into a memoir, and it's going to be published.
Mr. Storyteller.
That was
you
not 15
continue.
seconds, I know.
No, that sounds good.
I've never been one for listening to all the time cues.
Thanks for sharing that, Gary.